Hi, it's Murray, and look, I'm with Ryan from Leafs Fan TV. We're about to do our walk to the subway, and how do I start this off? We lost game 4, buddy. How you feel?
Uh, I mean, it lost a loss, especially in the playoffs. I think the great thing about the playoffs is it's one game at a time. So just put that one under your pillow and go on to the next one. I think a big thing to take away here is, I mean, man, they really did come out flat at the beginning of the game, and
They really did, huh?
eh,
They really did. It looked like they weren't properly awake. You know what I mean? Like it just it.
oh,
they
and,
weren't
but
ready
I
to
think
go.
I think part of that too is the fact that Washington. I know we talked about experience at the beginning of this series, and with the Leafs winning on Monday, I think a lot of that conversation got ignored because you saw a team that was equal. I think one thing to see though is that the Leafs were really playing a desperate team, so that was really evident in the first. And I think after they realized how to go about that, I think they were showing that they could come back. It wasn't enough. Wasn't enough.
No, I completely agree. And one of the serious things though for me was you know, I expected, like I said at the start when we were in the bar, I expected this to come from us, from Washington at one point. But like, again, I feel a bit cheated because I don't feel like this was Washington firing all cylinders. I feel that we were just flat. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Washington won the game. I feel like we lost it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get it?
Yeah, I you know what though, I think here's what I say. Here's what I think about Washington. I think they know they're very capable of playing better than they are. I
Yeah.
think you saw that at the beginning of the game, and I think they went into their old like. I don't want to say it was a hibernation state because they were up, they were aware all game. I mean, they played well.
I know, but they were in easy gear. Is that what you're saying? Like, they were just
I
like...
think they dropped it down to easy gear
Yeah,
after the
yeah,
first
yeah.
period. And I think they've been doing that consistently, which is what has been giving the Leafs this jump and this late game domination. But at the same time, that's not to take away from the Leafs. I think they've surprised a lot of people. And I mean, hey, it's 2-2. We got a series on our hands here.
No, completely. And, you know, like, again, like, if... It's very hard as a fan to not fall into this trap when you look at it game by game. But, you know, let's look at this as a series. You know, going into this, we looked at Washington, like the number one team in the NHL, right? And we got them. If you'd have told me before we went into the playoffs, we're gonna at the end of our home run in Toronto, we're gonna be tied with the Caps 2-2, I'd have ripped your hand off.
Well, I think everyone would have signed off on that too. Everyone would have taken that. I think it's in the matter of, you know, it's just. I think what you saw tonight was the regular season Maple Leafs. You see them perform for 2 periods, and 1 period they're non-existent. And that's something Babcock's really going to go to town to here in the next couple days before Friday. So, you know, it's not like Babcock's stopped coaching. It's not like he's stopped watching the team. He's very aware of what happened tonight, and I think we all are. I think there's nothing to panic about. I see Leaf fans losing their mind. I mean, Jesus Christ, everyone thought this was done in 5. So let's relax and let's see how the next couple days go.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think, you know, the series is, you know, we can't take this as a moment of stress, as a moment of worry or anything we were worried about. The series is tied at 2. Washington doesn't have the lead, and they won tonight by a goal. Like, that's it. We lost by a goal, and it was 5-4. I think, you know, yeah, you're right, Ryan. I think, you know, this is nothing to be massively concerned about. I think we saw the Washington that everyone expected to see. I think we saw a little bit of regular season Leafs that looked a bit flat, but let's not forget that these two teams, if you've looked at the whole playoffs, these two teams have played the most hockey out across the whole playoffs. You know, each 3 games going to overtime, 1 going to double overtime. Like, they played the most hockey.
Goals are even. Think about that. That's a playoff series where the goals are even. That's how close this thing is.
Yeah, that's unreal. And like again, like I just said, you'd have told me that before the season. 4 games in, we'd be goals even, playing the most amount of hockey. I'd have ripped your hand off. I wouldn't even thought it was possible. Truthfully, I was expecting, you know, I thought we could take 1. Maybe if we were lucky, we could, you know, steal a second, and everyone will say, oh, that's kind of unjust, but we haven't. We've fought for every inch and corner, and we just fell a bit short tonight, like we did in game 1, but we go to Washington, and then we're definitely coming back home. Like, we've secured that.
We've raised our expectations, and that can only be a good thing because they were low enough to begin with. So until, I guess, Friday, we'll see you then. If you like what you saw, comment, hit like, and subscribe.
Yeah, just there. Just subscribe. And for further content of Ryan and today's game, knock there.
Have a good one, guys.
Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go.